For several years now, God has been really talking to me about the perspective, the spiritual lens that we see Him through, that we see the world through, that we see ourselves through. And for some time, God's really been taking me through a process. I've been rewiring my brain, renewing my mind, and I'm telling you, I don't think if that hadn't taken place, if I hadn't walked that process, maybe my story would have ended different. As a lot of you know, last year I found out I had stage 4B throat cancer. I had this knot. I even had it when I was here. We had asked people to check it out, and we thought it was scar tissue. Come to find out, it was a tumor in my throat. We got with this oncologist group and got right into 35 radiation treatments. I mean, their language, not mine. 35 intense radiation treatments and 6 intense chemo treatments. The lady had to put on 2 hazmat suits and put on all these gloves and put a needle in my arm, and I would just sit there and worship. I would just sit there and just go up and in. My first response was, I know Him, and because I know Him, this is my upgrade. Because I don't believe He gave me cancer, but I'm going to tell you something. He will definitely step in and use it. And I got to experience Jesus in His character and His nature in a way that I've never known Him before. First thing He told my wife and I was, be still and know. So that's what I did, man. I just took that place of stillness in the presence of God. There were times I was coughing up tumor and coughing up blood and could barely move. I'd lost 50 pounds. I just lay on my couch with my little phone with worship, and I just worship. This is what God said to me. He said, for here is what the Lord has spoken to me. And in my heart, I was like, okay, He's talking to me. Because you have delighted in me as my great lover, I will greatly protect you. I will set you in a high place, safe and secure before my face. Shaka Baba. So one day I was waiting to go in for treatments, and this beautiful lady comes out, and all of a sudden you just hear this vibration, this sound, like bling, 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 this loud bell, and oh my gosh, like it released such a sound of healing. I mentioned the vibration because it literally went into my bones, and my wife and I kept looking at that bell, and it's a ringing of freedom, it's a ringing of victory, it's being an overcomer. It represents that you've overcome those treatments. And so every day I would walk in, I would look at that bell, and I'd be like, I'm gonna ring that bell. I'm gonna release that sound. So every day we would be like picturing ourselves, in the realm of faith. I'm gonna ring that bell, and I tell you what, there came the day when we got to ring it. Later, I got I'm cancer free. Come on, all the cancer's gone. Still walking through some side effects, but all the cancer's gone. But that bell represented, your feet on the ground, if you will. That war, you've finished, you've overcome. 35 radiation treatments, 6 chemo treatments, all the other stuff that goes with that. You're like releasing that sound of overcoming, of freedom. After the bell, it got worse because it takes 2 to 3 months to go through your system. So then I even got more sick. I mean, I couldn't even walk around the block. And this has not been very long. We're not even a year out of treatments, and I've already, from the beginning of this year, I went from not being able to walk around the block, get off my couch. I've been to Brazil, did 15 revival meetings, came home, took my family. We went and ministered in Europe and Holland, and then we went to Belgium, Paris, and London, ministered in London, came home. Now I'm here with you guys, Shaka Baba. I couldn't even move. It's so supernatural. The enemy tried to come in with throat cancer and take my voice, but he can't keep me silent. He will not shut me down. I don't care what happens. I will continue to walk and to be an overcomer. I will release the sound of heaven. I'm Jason Lee Jones, and I believe in miracles.